While anime fans across the world bicker over Tamaki's fan service in Fire Force, or censorship in Takamine-san or the Yandere Elf Show, the most cultured individuals out there are enjoying the true peak degeneracy for the season. Yes, Makina-san is a love bot. A series seemingly flying under the radar due to the fact that it's difficult to find. Yes, licensed by a new platform that pretty much only covers spicy anime, Oceanvale. A platform with a subscription price of $13 a month? What are you, the Netflix of degens? But back to Makina-san, I had a lot of fears about this show overall coming in the spring season because, one, they didn't have a trailer for it until like a week until it was actually going to air. And yes, because it was being done by Studio Blooms, which the only work that they have actually animated was Isekai Paradise Onsen, which was absolutely horrific looking. But despite my fears, the show is actually delivering. It's a series that follows a nerd otaku who's stuck with his hot classmate who really badly wants to bang him. There's only two major problems with this whole scenario. One, she's actually a love robot, which, yes, a lot of people are probably like, that's not a problem. But two, she doesn't know how to bang. This girl has absolutely no information on how to actually perform her duties. It's all kind of spelling a very funny little series with, yes, a lot of really nice, spicy, ecchi shots. And I've watched the first 4 episodes of it, so this is my thoughts on it so far. Makina-san opens up with a boy named Etta, and yes, he's an absolute robot otaku. It seems like this world is sort of a little bit more advanced than we currently are. They have AI technology that seems to be across the board. Everybody's learning it in schools and everything. You have robots going everywhere that's kind of being powered by AI, and Etta's even the head of the robotics club. Well, he has a classmate named Makina, and Makina is pretty much like the opposite of him. While he's the nerd that nobody hangs around with, has no friends, she's the one that's extremely popular. But it does seem like Makina is taking a little bit of interest in him, even though he thinks they're completely in different worlds. Yes, he seems to put a lot of care into the robots that he's actually working with, even going so far as to put himself in danger in order to protect the robots. Well, one day while he's going home from school, he's seeing a lot of emergency vehicles going by. Apparently there was an explosion nearby. He goes up to his room, and outside of his apartment is Makina. And she's not doing too great. She stands up, hands him this little tablet that has all this robotics information in it, and then suddenly she reveals that yes, she's a robot, and her body's falling apart in front of him. So he quickly takes her into his room, takes the tablet, reads all the information in it, and goes through the process of actually repairing her body. When she finally regains consciousness, she's like, oh great, I chose the right person. Looks like everything's back to normal. Then proceeds to reveal to Etta what she actually is, that she's a robot. That her whole purpose and design is that she's supposed to essentially seduce men. And yes, Etta is her first target. Thus, with him and manipulate him. That yes, she can't reveal her secret to the rest of the class. Like her current mission is that she's supposed to be a student at the school, and if anybody learns that she's actually a robot, her secret gets out. So if she can pay him with something, he'll keep it a secret. But yes, as per usual, your main character of an ecchi show doesn't see things that way. He's the ultimate virgin character. He's going to keep her secret without having to do all that stuff. Even still, she keeps pursuing him, keeps constantly trying to repay him in some way, and the only way that she can do that, because she has nothing else, is trying to give him part of her body. And this kind of brings up the other big issue that comes with Makina herself, is that it seems like there's some sort of block in her memory banks. She doesn't know how to actually perform the act that she's designed to do. Every time she looks at literature or anything, it seems like there's some sort of block. She can't even read things, and whatever information that's stored in her brain is completely closed off. So she's been over time trying to actually figure out how it works. Going so far as one of her classmates, a BL mangaka, and so she's been trying to get information from her. So most of the information that Makina currently has is through her conversation with a BL manga artist that seems to have a lot of misconceptions exactly how men themselves work. For example, she believes the tool in which men use is the prostate. The prostate is supposed to be put into the other location. So yes, Makina is constantly trying to disclose him, figure him out. The first time she actually gets to see his lower carriage, she ends up thinking says his prostate is protruding and wants to stick it back in. It's all absolutely crazy. Mixed in with this is several occasions where we find out that Makina's body is not 100%. And the idea that whenever there's a lot of, scurrying around or she's trying to subdue him or whatever, she keeps falling apart and he has to keep putting her back together. And this raises concerns of her even returning back to school because people might find out her secret because her leg might fall off or something. Even still, Makina really badly wants to go back to school. It's supposed to be her mission, but additionally, she has friends there. She has people that she wants to be with and whatnot. And all the while, Etta is aiding her in this, and at the same time, getting to learn a lot about technologies that he's not aware of. This is what this guy eats up. This is like his entire life is robotics and AI and stuff. So seeing something this advanced, getting to work with it is a payment for him. But yeah, that's the gist of the show so far. My thoughts on it. I actually really like this show, and it's a big surprise. Like I mentioned earlier, I had a lot of fears for this show actually working out because of the studio itself. I watched Isekai Paradise Onsen, and it was atrocious. Granted, it was only like maybe a minute and a half episodes. It was like visually horrible. The audio quality was horrible. The voice acting was horrible. The animation was abysmal. And yes, even though it was supposed to be an uncensored version, there was still a lot of censorship in it. So getting into this show, despite it having a really fantastic key art and a lack of PvE, I wanted to like it. I even read a bit of the manga, and I really like the chemistry between the characters. So when I finally get the finished product, even though it's not like amazingly animated or anything like that, it's actually still really well put together. Where the animation needs to be, it's there. Yes, all the shots are absolutely beautiful. The character designs are fantastic. Makina-san herself is chef kiss. Everything seems to be working for it. It's moving well enough, and it's produced well enough. Like, compared to Takamine-san, which is seemingly has a higher budget for it, compared to especially Yandere Elf, which looks atrocious, this show is being held together very well. Visually, it looks really good. There's no real time where I'm looking at the show and going, ooh, that shot looks bad. Additionally, I'm just really liking the chemistry so far. Yes, it does have that age-old issue of the main character who just constantly goes wah 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 and doesn't want to touch anything. I do like that they sort of offset that quite a bit by having the fact that Makina herself is very illiterate when it comes to how exactly the process works. And I think a lot of the comedy comes from that. And the idea that she's constantly saying things like, oh, your prostate's sticking out. Let's shove that back in. Your intestines are coming out. Oh my gosh, that's not good. Oh, let's probe these intestines. It's like constantly her doing things that are just like, no, don't stop. What are you doing? And of course, Etta is extremely confused by that. Additionally, there's quite a few little segments that I absolutely loved. I think the biggest, funniest moment so far was Makina was going to go meet her friend in order to get a spare uniform from her. And when they were out there waiting, Makina ends up breaking her leg. So Etta comes over, grabs her, and yanks her into the bathroom so that he can help her put the leg back on. And of course, the girl notices this, and she's outside the bathroom wondering what's happened to Makina. Did somebody abduct her? Are they going to do something horrible to her? And the entire time she's overhearing Etta as he's trying to put the leg back on, and Makina's making just inappropriate noises and saying that it's going in the wrong hole and stuff, misreading of the whole situation that she's getting from just overhearing what's going on, and eventually getting the courage to go in there to save Makina just to find Makina's alone. Then brings up the question mark of, what are you doing in the boys' bathroom? What are you doing here making all those noises and making those comments in the boys' bathroom alone? It was absolutely fantastic, and I actually like the chemistry between Etta and Makina so far. I think they're just really sweet. Yes, there is the aspect of Etta himself being very chivalrous. He's actually not wanting to take advantage of her, but at the same time, it kind of blows up into his face because that's what Makina is. I think that initial impression that he gets when he first rejects her was great. And the idea that he's going, no, I'm not going to take advantage of a robot that's for this purpose, because that's disrespectful to women. He's like, yeah, she's a robot. That's her whole purpose. But me utilizing that thing is disrespectful to women as a whole, because it's me lusting at them and attacking one for the sake of my own pleasure. But her response to it is, I'm a robot designed to do this, and you're telling me what my purpose is disgusting. Like, it's an insult to her. Like, she's going, but that's my whole purpose. You're saying that I'm a nasty being. Like, my whole being is disgusting. That's it's bad. Which is, yes, adding on to the fact that this is supposedly a classmate that's been with him for a while that seems to like him because he likes robots, that he protects robots. So you think as a robot, she likes him in actuality. That stuff's fantastic. And plus, it seems like they are getting into the idea that because she's such an advanced AI, she technically does have simulations of actual emotions, of an actual person. She's actually experiencing embarrassment and whatnot. I mean, the whole situation where they're going out to get the uniform, he's watching from a distance, but eventually she pulls him in and says, you know, you're going to walk with me. He sees it as a date with a girlfriend, and he mentions that, and it completely flusters her. Wait, a girlfriend? No, we're not that. Don't get the wrong idea. Which, yes, is funny because he's going, but you're a love robot. And you're embarrassed by the idea of being considered a girlfriend. That's your tipping point. You're back here. You're literally on your back mode, just waiting for me to come in and park, and now you're upset about the whole situation. It's doing really good with the contrast between how they see things. It's working really well. I think my biggest concern right now, though, is that we're 4 episodes in, and the show still looks really good, putting the effort into whenever it goes to shots of, obviously, Makina. My concern still is with what Bloom's has done in the past. I'm afraid of what will be going forward beyond episode 4. If it can keep the current status quo with the quality, I'll be happy. That's all I'm really asking for. You don't have to go out of your way. Yeah, sure, if you want to do something bombastic later, do it. But for now, just keep the status quo and we're good. Yeah, I know probably the biggest issue that a lot of people are going to have with watching Makina-san is if they're wanting to watch it legally, the only option you have currently, at least in the West, is Oceanville, which is this new platform that popped up recently, has a lot of the Anime Fest shows on it. It's just mostly just adult stuff. My biggest difficulty that I have even with suggesting Oceanville currently is that it's got a massive price tag on it. And I think they sort of have the mindset of adult content is going to be something that's going to be expensive and something that people will pay for. And I think that's a great thing. If you want to support this, that's a method of doing that. It's telling the industry, hey, we want this stuff and we want it uncensored. That's amazing. The problem is, again, is the price tag. $13 a month is a pretty hefty price tag for one single simulcast. I think they might have another show that is currently in this season that is more H related that might be possibly on there as well. They have some back catalog as well. But again, this isn't Netflix. I think they have this mindset that they're Netflix, that they have millions of shows to watch and people can have something running on their television all the time, and thus it's worth that price tag. They don't quite have that right now. They don't really actually have that right now. But even still, if you are looking for that option, it is there. Definitely check them out and support it if it's something you want to support. But otherwise, you're going to have it through other means. You're going to have to find it through other means. So that's an option for you. But yeah, in the end, I'm super excited for the show. I think it's great so far. The other character they've shown so far is Mamimi, and she's, again, the BL artist. She seems to, again, have a very skewed perspective on exactly how that stuff works, mostly driven by her top-bottom BL stuff that she's getting into. We haven't really seen any of the other characters except for the landlady, and she seems to be somebody that is looking after him because she promised the parents that she'd look after him. And it's so far been basically her constantly coming to his door when they're making a lot of noise. One time even spotting his tent when he answered the door and going, oh my, okay, well just keep it down. She seems to have a lot of misconceptions about exactly what's going on in the room and seems to indicate that she might be a more milfy character that eventually might get involved with things, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm loving it so far. Definitely highly suggest it if you're looking for a Degen show. If you're not afraid of the usual, ecchi and all that kind of stuff, the adult humor, it's all in here. So anyhow, that's my thoughts on Makina-san. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know what you think of the series if you're going to be checking out. Additionally, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you get all my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top lists. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. If you like this content and you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all take care. And hopefully this doesn't get demonetized.